Yo, peace and black power family. It's your brother Ladarius, aka Young D, the Truth Seeker. And I'm here with the God. I'm gonna let him go ahead and introduce himself real quick.
Peace, man. Peace. It's your brother, Don Izzy Avalon. We here just doing what we do, man. With the big bro D. Let's rock and roll.
As y'all know, this the African Empowerment Network. We in here trying to get the black people on the channel doing anything positive. I'm gonna go ahead and let the brother drop off what he here for, man. Let the people know what it is that you're doing.
Hey, man. I'm into the fashion. I'm into the music. I'm into the commercial arts. Reaching out for the real estate thing, just doing what I do, man. Independent. Just doing what I can, man. Making it happen.
So where you from, man? Let the people know where you from.
Well, I'm in Sarasota, Florida now, but I'm originally from Brooklyn, East New York at that. New York.
Alright, you say you into fashion, music, designs, everything. How long you been doing all this? How long you been into this?
Oh man. I mean, I always felt the passion since I was a young boy, man. And I'm in my mid-30s right now, But I could say the first time it was more so into the fashion, and the first time somebody ever really wore my clothing outside was about 97, 98-ish. Custom clothes. That's what I was doing.
What's the name of your business for the fashion and the clothing?
Stone-based customs on the fashion side, and all the other business, the management side is based on stone management.
How you came up with that name? That's an interesting name.
Now, you see, I was always into the fashion, everything. I was just doing it, this is something to do. If you draw, you just draw, you know what I mean? If you sing, you make music, you just do it. You wasn't looking for a group or anything, but my house, my place was just one of them spots, one of the foundations where everybody used to come over and kick it with me. And I became one of those kind of fellas, you know what I mean? Everybody used to come check me out, and we got into a big argument. Could have been maybe 8 to 10 of us in the kitchen, and we all getting nice, we writing, having a little smoke and chilling out, and conversation started, and pushing and shoving and arguing, and one thing led to the next, and I went from talking to yelling yo, this is my base, this is my foundation, this is my spot, y'all came to check me out, and it went from my base, my foundation, this is my rock, my stone, and that's what led into stone base. And that was more so the end of 2001, 2002, and that's what came about of stone base, of a solid foundation, and that's what I stood for. It more so came about of a disagreement, argument.
Alright. What's some of the accomplishments you say you already done reached since you started?
Accomplishments, just being independent, man, and just being able to sell my goods. You know what I mean? I made good money off of this, you know what I mean? I've been in and out of the game because, I lived a real life, you know what I mean? Just growing up in my neck of the woods. But on the business side of things, you know what I mean? I made a pretty penny off of this, off the music, off the fashion, you know what I mean? And everything else I did and engaged in as far as being independent.
Nah, independent, that's something a lot of people run from. Explain to them how easy or how hard it's been for you going down this path of doing everything independently.
Now, I've been independent to the point where I've been off the radar independent. So, you gotta start from somewhere, you know what I mean? I started without a tax ID, you know what I mean? Without doing anything proper, just having a place to conduct business and opening up shop. So, just to start off, if you don't even have a point of view, if you have anything to sell, anything, more so just try to get a business plan together and then try to push it. I started off from the ground, beneath that, seriously. I just had a building, and I had merchandise and things that I wanted to sell, honestly, you know what I mean? I knew I had my talent, I knew where to pick up some t-shirts at, and I just knew how to put it together, and I did. You know what I mean? That's what I did. I painted on shirts, I silk screen on shirts, I did embroidery on shirts, and anything you wanted on that shirt, I did it and I sold it. You know what I mean? And that's the way I really more so pushed my business. And since I had a place to conduct business, I opened up a studio in the back. You know what I mean? I bought some equipment and didn't know much of what I was doing and put it together and just had people come in and work with me and help me. And that's where I wound up building from.
Nah, with what you doing everything independent and all that for so long. How you come up with some of the ideas for the fashion and the designs and clothes and everything? Where you get some of your ideas from?
I do a lot of moving around. I just watch things. I listen to people. You know, it's just everywhere. Nature. You know what I mean? Everything I see, everything I pick up on. You know what I mean? Things that I like. You know, and I just clash it into old ideas, new ideas. You know what I mean? Everything is around. Bring the old into the present. You know, and just a clash of whatever's around with my ideas. You know, and that's what builds from a stone base. You know.
What's some of the things you see yourself getting into? Some future things you got planned?
I'm really reaching out to get into real estate, man. And I don't have my foot in the door just yet, but soon. You know, I have a lot of ideas, and I think that right there is a whole another segment on that there. But I have a lot of ideas on the real estate. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of money to be made out there in real estate.
As far as low income housing, you know what I mean? As far as independent businesses and them to have a foundation to run a business out of instead of running out of your garage, and people don't have garages or a home office or you know, a spare place in the corner of your bedroom, you know what I mean? Seriously.
For real.
You know?
How extensive would you say your network is with you being from Brooklyn and now you down here? I know you do a lot of traveling. How extensive you say your network reach out to?
Now, I would say compared to Florida and Brooklyn, out here you got to travel everywhere. You know, I won't say it's difficult to network out here, but you have to travel to network. You have to be in the right places to network if you're not on the computer all the time. You know, sending an email or posting up, you know, or whatever it is in the social media. New York is totally different because everything is all around you. You know what I mean? You got the 5 boroughs and everything is happening in the mix of those 5 boroughs. You know, but in New York, I did a whole lot of networking and I still do. You know what I mean? Out here, as much as I can reach out to people, I do that. I do a lot of traveling, different states, and everywhere I touch down at, you know what I mean? If you into what I'm into, you know, we're making a connection, you know? So I reach out everywhere I go to, and I do a lot of traveling, and I travel quite often, you know?
So networking for you is more of a person-to-person interaction, not so much a heavy online.
It's all the above, but I like to get down to the nitty-gritty. Like, I like to be more so hands-on with a lot of things that I do, you know what I mean? So to be face-to-face with somebody or to sit down and touch the quality of the material or to do music and really be in the studio with an artist from time to time, I like that feeling, you know what I mean? More so hands-on, you know?
What you doing all the networking and stuff from place to place? What's some of the people you say you already made connections with, if you don't mind dropping a couple names? I know you don't give up everything you got up your sleeve.
I deal with plenty of people in New York. A lot of independent artists, you know. I deal with a Big Solid and Hydro. They're out of Brooklyn, you know. Black artists, you know. Independent, you know. And they're reaching for the next best thing. I deal with different A&Rs, you know. I deal with one fella, Sin, Neil Gilbert. He's in New Hampshire right now doing his 1 and 2s up there. Independent artists in county, and just everywhere I touch down at, it's artists everywhere. So I'm still shaking hands, and they still pushing music off on me or directing me to where to find their music at on this site or World Star or YouTube or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Because they know the loop that I'm in and what I do. You know.
Alright. What's some of the highlights you had so far in your career?
I could say I did a lot of work for different people. You know what I mean? I did a lot of work with Kill All Rats. You know what I mean? Mike Bex when he was running with the Terror Squad. Uncle Murder. You know what I mean? Uncle Murder. We from the same neck of the woods, East New York. You know what I mean? The Ringmasters, you know, the dance groups. I did different independent work with different mainstream and independent artists. You know what I mean?
As far as fashion,
As
what's
far as fashion, you know, and as far as music, a lot of these dudes, it was more so, you know, the mix with the same pleasure. You know what I mean? So I've been in the studio with a lot of these same artists. You know what I mean? Whether it was me or other artists that was working, we engaged in the same, you know, same lanes.
you ever get any of them to rep your brand or show off some of the work you done with fashion before?
I did something out of New York that was called Rep Your Hood, you know, with a fella named Lee Majors, you know, R.I.P. Lee Majors, he passed away a couple years ago. He did a lot of work with a whole bunch of artists all over Brooklyn, all over New York. Heavy in Queens, heavy in Brooklyn, heavy in the Bronx, heavy in Manhattan. He worked with a lot of people. You know, when we was first trying to get our foot in the door, you know, I used to be on my 1-2 on the raps with a DVD, Death Before Dishonor. You know, and I was working with Big Solid and Hydro, and I was actually a part of that group at the time. And we did a lot of dealing with Dean Little. He ran side by side with Blue. Blue was Outkast manager. You know, and anybody who don't know about that whole situation, Outkast, you know, they are from Atlanta. You know, but we ran in that circle, you know, a while back, and when we was more so hungry, trying to get put on, before we was aiming so much on an independent level. You know, but Blue and Dean Little, you know, they helped us in the door with a lot of things, and they showed us a lot of things. More so Dean Little, you know, and I'm here now, you know, with a lot of that experience.
With all that experience and the different interactions with all the different people from different areas and stuff, touch on some of the ups and downs you know kind of been through.
Listen, let's say on the music tip, everybody's doing music, you know what I mean? If you don't step outside the lane and outside the box, you're gonna sound like everybody else, you know what I mean? You ever been at a stadium, you know what I mean, when everybody was chanting boo, you know what I mean? You hear nothing but boo, 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 boo. They don't know if you're booing or you could not be booing, but it's coming from your area, so you know you right along with that crowd. You know what I mean? So it was more so like the same situation, you know what I mean? My thing is you have to step outside the box. You know, you gotta step outside the everyday lane and do something a little extra. You know what I mean? Do a little something extra. As far as the fashion, once again, everybody's doing fashion. Nobody needs your t-shirt. Nobody needs your $200-300 customs. Nobody needs your $50, $60, $70 t-shirt, no nothing. You know what I mean? So you have to give these people a reason to deal with you. Whether they buying into the brand, whether they buying into you, whether they really like the style, whether they like the fact that you use this kind of material and this kind of material, whether it's the way that you bargain and it's so cheap, you know what I mean? But you have to find your way into the door. You know what I mean? Because think about it like this. A lot of these famous people, they sell because of who they are. You know what I mean? You might smell the perfume, it smell like shit, but since it was the up and coming thing, you got it, might never use it, but it's sitting on the dresser. You know what I mean? Think about it. You know what I mean? A lot of people do that because they're just keeping up with the times. You know, so you have to find your angle with things. And everybody, what works for me might not work for you. You know what I mean? So you have to get out there and kick the ball in the field. You know what I mean? Explore. You know?
With you coming up in Brooklyn and coming down here later on in your life, it's a different pace, different environment. What's some of the things you could say you took from that environment and applied it to your life or to your situation here, and that's helping you be successful in everything that you're trying to do right now?
I can say coming from New York, everything is like fast, fast, fast. You know what I mean? Even when you're moving slow, you're still moving faster than the average. You know what I mean? Coming from the north and coming down to the south, and coming from New York itself, you know, and coming down to the south, everything is a different pace. I had to more so slow down and pace myself. You know what I mean? Because I would come out here and move so fast and hit a brick wall. You know what I mean? In New York, you hit a brick wall and you keep on going. Out here, you hit a brick wall, everybody see you. You know what I mean? Everybody see the wreck. You know? So I didn't want to hit a brick wall out here. I had to pace myself. I had to slow down. I had to take certain things into consideration. You know, and I wanted to more so build a brand out here. You know, as well as like how I built it in New York. You know, and since I was independent, it's like when I left New York, I took the brand with me. I'm out here now, and I want to be able to build this independence out here, as well as up north, as well as in the west, and the east, and the south, and you know, so on. You know, and that's my angle right now, to more so become a household brand instead of a urban brand. You know, with hoodies and baggy jeans. You know what I mean? I want to give it all. I want button-down shirts. I want shoes. You know, so I'm reaching out to these angles. You know. I want hats more than just scullies and fitteds, you know, with ski masks, you know what I mean? I want more than that to offer, you know? I want the everyday wear, you know, whether the everyday wear is a hoodie, you know, or, you know, a pea coat, you know, or a button-down shirt, you know what I mean? Whatever it might be.
With everything that you got to offer, all the experience, all the knowledge, all the traveling, what's some things that you say you'll be able to offer to the community with the services that you provide, as far as the fashion, the music, and all that? What's some ways you could use that to interact with the community or to help out with the community?
Anybody who's into this fashion thing, the music game, anything, you know what I mean? Especially if you're independent and you're reaching, just be humble and be focused. Be focused on your craft. Whatever it is that you're doing, be focused on your craft. Whether you jump rope, whether you shovel shit in the barn, you know what I mean? If that's what you do, and if that's your profession, be focused on your craft. You know what I mean? Just build on what you do and look for the next level to open up the next door for yourself, you know, so you can get better at what you do. If it's singing, you know, look for the next level of singing. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. If you're not in a legitimate studio, look for a decent studio. You know, look for features. Look for other people to work with. Look for other producers, other people that can help you go to the next level. If you're with the fashion, go out and about. Look what people are wearing for your ideas and inspiration. Go out to different places, you know what I mean, and see where they putting on fashion shows at, you know what I mean? And see what people have out there to offer and bring it in. And take it back to the chopping board and do what you do. You know what I mean? And just for all the independent people to just live a life, you know what I mean? Just breathe and take every day one step at a time. You know what I mean? You're not in a rush to nothing, you know what I mean?
What I meant was, like, as far as, you know, this the network for the community, with the services that you're offering. If somebody was to come to you or whatever, what services would you have to offer for the community as far as helping and better the community?
As far as what I'm doing out here, you know what I mean? I'm into the fashion and the music out here. And as far as what I was doing in New York, I was more into the community out here. Because I can say Florida, and anybody who knows Florida, like, you know, it's gaps out here. You know what I mean? You're here, you're in a different town. You're here, you're in a different town. You know what I mean? You just got to adapt to where you at. You know what I mean? But out here, I would love to work with anybody who's into any kind of community work. You know what I mean? If you're into building low-income housing for these families, you know, if you're into any kind of way within shelter, you know, and better in living and jobs and anything, you know, anything that's up my alley and anything that I've been doing, you know, as far as anything for the community, you know, my hands is up for that. You know what I mean? I'm willing to sit down with anybody. You know what I mean? But as far as right now, I'm just waiting for the opportunity. You know?
Peace. That's peace. Do you got any advice for anybody on the come up? Anybody getting ready to try and do something?
Stay focused and stay humble. You know? Go back to what I just said about a minute ago. You know what I mean? Just stay focused, stay humble. Independent, you know what I mean? Especially if you want to come up, stay focused. Pay attention. You know what I mean? You definitely have to pay attention. Pay attention to other people's mistakes. You know what I mean? Pay attention to your mistakes. They just need to more so pay attention, man. Stay focused. You know? Work hard on your craft. Whatever it might be. Whatever it might be. Not everybody's into the fashion. Everybody is not a rapper or an engineer, you know? Everybody is not just a janitor. Everybody is not a receptionist. Everybody is not a secretary. Everybody's not a doctor. But find your calling and go hard at it. You know what I mean? Even if it's not your calling, if it is something that you can, you know, go hard at and make a foundation for yourself as well as the people around you. Because most people are taking care of other people, kids, mother, father, brother, sister, other family members, people around them. Just build your foundation and be focused on something instead of slouching and doing nothing. You know what I mean? My grandmother used to always tell me, you know, me as well as a lot of my other siblings, you know so much, you know, but you're so stupid and you ain't doing nothing. Meaning we was wasting our talent, you know what I mean?
For real.
So reach out to what you could reach out to. Know what you know and learn what you learn. Whatever it is. If you can talk, that means you can reach out to be a motivational speaker to somebody. You know what I mean? Because there's people out there that can't talk. So that means you got one step ahead of somebody in this world. You know what I mean? That's it. So.
And what would you say for the people that's getting started as far as advice on how to handle negativity or down talk, hating, and all that other kind of crazy shit?
You have to embrace it all, just like a sponge. Bring it all in. Bring it all in, man. Embrace the good and the bad with open arms and push it out as positive. That's all you have to do, man. And that's the way I deal with it. Everything doesn't work, you know, for everybody. Like, you know, what works for me doesn't work for you or this person, that person. But the majority, you know, attempt it, you know, kick it around the field. See how it works out for you. You know what I mean? Open it up, good and bad, you know, and embrace it.
Alright. I don't think I asked you this yet, but what's your goals as far as for your business, your music, and all that? Where you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? What's the big picture?
Me, as far as Basis Stone and one, and that's my music, that's the fashion, that's everything. I plan on putting on a whole bunch of independent artists, you know, as far as artists itself, music, any kind of talent, you know, and putting them on a bigger and better platform to show off whatever it is they're showing off, you know, singing, painting, you know, whatever it is. I want to help them be that platform, you know what I mean?
That's what's up. Alright, man. I don't got nothing else for you. Got anything else you want to say or plug yourself in? Any closing remarks?
Hey, my name is Izzy Avalon, and I'm plugged.
Peace and Black Power, family. We out to the next time.
Peace, kings, peace, queens.